I wanted to create a movement sequence for those who feel defeated. If that's you, welcome. Times are tough, and it's important that we acknowledge these challenging emotions and physical states, physical experiences that we have. So let's do that now. We're going to work with the tension in our bodies and practice tensing and releasing and just being with parts of us. Start off by rubbing your hands together, creating a little bit of heat and friction through the hands. And then when you're ready, you're going to place them on your face. Well, there's many important nerve endings in your face that actually innervate with your gut. And so taking a moment to feel the face and to allow the face to take in the sensation of your hands. Take it to the ears, starting at the top of the ears. A gentle rub between the fingers and the thumb, working your way from the top down to the bottom. A simple comb through the hair, through the scalp. Place we often ignore. So most of the sequence is going to be on the floor, and actually it's going to be face down on the floor. If you need a cushion or a pillow for your head, please grab one or even roll up a pair of socks. Is a perfect size for this. So I'm going to go down onto the floor here. So I recommend not worrying about watching me too much. Do your own thing, but do peek in if for some reason you need some guidance. Okay? So I'm resting my head, my forehead on the ground, inviting it to become weighted. Resting my rib cage down, resting my pelvis down, my thighs, and my feet. I'm going to take a couple of breaths. Let yourself breathe into the floor here. So your belly might expand a little bit, your chest might expand. And let yourself hold your inhale with a little bit of tension here. You can think of pressing that tension into the floor or just being with it. And as you let your exhale move, you're going to let the weight of your body really drop downward. Doing that again. Take an inhale. Holding it for a moment, feeling the tension of the breath. And then let it go. Do that one more time. And letting it drop. So you might notice a change in the spine and through the low back and through the neck spine. It's possible they feel a little extra weighted and that they're dropping into the floor, which may be more comfortable or maybe it's uncomfortable, and just notice what's the case for you. You're going to bring your arms underneath your chest, and you'll be able to adjust how this is. And as you go, we're going to rock yourself from side to side, rolling over your arms. And just let your head also roll on the ground. So, in a way, you're massaging the front of your body and you're massaging the arms with this pressure. And then let yourself come down. Take your arms out from underneath you. And feel free to place your hands underneath your head if you don't have already something underneath your forehead. We're going to put some tension one leg at a time. You're going to tuck the toes of one foot underneath, and then you're going to push out through one heel and tense up that leg. So tense up the seat, tense up the thigh, push out through the heel. Try to keep the rest of your body fairly relaxed. It might tense up a little bit. And then relax the leg down. Notice the change between the legs from one side to the other. And let's tuck the toes of the other foot underneath and tensing up that other leg. And then let it relax and drop down. Perhaps it's easier to tense up one side than the other side. And if that's the case for you, we're going to revisit the side that might be a little more challenging and just try it again and see if it changes the second time around. And then let it drop and relax. Let's do both legs. So you can either do the other leg or you can do both legs at the same time. It's up to you. What do you feel like doing? See if you can keep your pubic bone dropping. See if you can keep your neck relaxed. The neck spine. Tension in mainly the lower body. And then release. So I'm going to bring those arms back down by my shoulders or underneath me, and I'm going to rock over to one side here, and then the other side. So for this part, I'm really using the floor to massage my thigh. And in fact, I might even bend my knees quite a bit. And I'm even going to pause more on the side of my leg, side of my body, and I'm going to grab hold of the foot if that's available. And I'll just flex and point that foot. So this allows for a little bit of stretch through the front of the thigh. If you can't reach your foot, that's okay. Release. And go to the other side. And release. Here I'm going to push my hips back to my heels, I'm going to keep my hands on the floor and push them into the ground so that my pelvis relaxes to my heels. Of course, if you need any prop underneath the feet or the ankles or the knees, do so. And I'm going to shift my hips from side to side. So I'm sliding them to the left and to the right. As if I'm going to sit down, but without touching the ground. Bring your hips into the center and take your hands over to one side. Keep pushing out through the hands and the arms. Stay long. Let your breath expand the side of your body. So here's a chance to lengthen from the arm all the way down to the rib cage or even down to the hips. After about 3 breaths, you're going to take the arms to the other side. Okay. We're going to go back down to the floor, face down for one more exercise here. Now, my arms will go down by my hips. My forehead is relaxed on the floor. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together. So here's some effort from my upper back. Keeping my neck as relaxed and calm as I can. Same with my low back, just letting it hang out there. Letting the weight of my legs drop down. And then I'm going to relax my shoulders, my arms. Doing that 2 more times. Squeezing the shoulder blades. As I squeeze the shoulder blades, I sense how much space there is between the front of my shoulder and the floor. I sense how much space there is between my ears and my ankles. And I sense my breath. I like to imagine that my breath travels through all the cells in my body, even though technically it doesn't. I can imagine. Relax the arms down. Do this one more time. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And this time lift the arms off the floor. Doesn't matter how high. Just ensure that the shoulders stay active. Head is dropped. Feel free to move the arms through space if you like, or just hold them where they are. Good. Relax those arms down. Then let yourself turn onto your back. So you can have your knees up or down. I'm going to, again, we're going to do the similar thing with the shoulders, but lying on our backs here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Press the back of the shoulder, the top of the arm into the floor. Also gently press the back of the head into the floor and elongate your throat. Push out through either the knees if they're bent or through the heels if the legs are long. If the legs are long, you'll squeeze the seat a little bit for just more elongation through the hips. And you can choose to keep the knees soft if they're long or locked. Feeling into that tension and then relax. Again, tensing the body. Start with the shoulder blades drawing together. Press the arms down. Give a soft press of the head to elongate the throat. Push out through the heels. So bringing awareness to the space between the ears and the heels. Sense if there's any tension here that feels like it's too much for you, and just dial it back a little bit. What amount of tension feels okay? And be with that tension for a moment. And then let it drop. Let yourself melt into the floor. We're going to do this one more time. Maybe try, if you've had straight legs, to do it with bent legs, or the other way around. Unless you really want to do it the same, then by all means. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Reach out through the head. And then melting into the floor. You're going to bring some rhythm into the body. You're going to let the legs fall. Rock on the heels, so the heels stay on the ground, and lifting and dropping the toes. If you keep most of your body relaxed here, you find that everything rocks. If you're finding difficulty doing this, I suggest you put yourself close to a couch or the wall and use it to push your toes away from. All right. Let that go. Bring your elbows up in front of your chest and wrap your hands around your elbows. You're going to start by gently but fairly quickly rocking the elbows from side to side, but allowing your rib cage to stay relaxed and also just to be rocked. Let the arms rise up over the nose. Feel how that changes the sensation in the back and the ribs. And then bring the arms down by your belly button. Perhaps down here you feel your pelvis also rock from side to side. And notice, what is your preference right now? Then bring the arms over the chest again, and we're going to make it into a bigger rock. Use only as much force as you feel compelled to use. Circles are welcome, or even figure eights. Last thing we're going to do here. We're going to take the hands and we're going to take any extra difficult, challenging feelings and put them into the hands, that tension. Any extra sadness, grief, anger, direct it there. Be with it for a moment. Then as you open up those hands, see if you can release those feelings out of you. Let those hands be a portal for good energies to flow in. Joy, connectedness, wholeness. Even if you don't feel those things right now, knowing that they are invited to join in at some point. Bring those hands back to your center. Stay on the ground if you like. And just enjoy gravity. Thank you for practicing. It's so important that we be with these challenging feelings, the tension. We can do hard things.